Hey, Best Life Tribe. Hey, Tribe. I hope you're alive. We're having a little technical difficulty, but I am here now. Come on in. I'm starting to see some eyeballs. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Whether you're in the Best Life Tribe or the Puka page or on our YouTube, come on in because we have an amazing guest and we're going to have amazing conversation as we always do. So come on in before I count us down and you go live with me in the Grow Your Glow podcast. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I see those eyeballs coming. Come on in. Oh, my leg's falling asleep now. Come on in, come on in, coming in. Hey, guys. You can comment. Let me make sure I have comments. I think you can comment if you're in StreamYard. Hi, Shelby. All right. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Facebook user that says, I see you. Thank you. All right. And I am going to go. You can also comment in the Best Life Tribe because I'm going to be there. And I will take questions anywhere with our amazing guests. So I am, as you know, I'm going to count us down. Let me see if I see us. All right, I see us in the tribe. I'm going to count us down. And I'm going to play our little 10-second header. And then when we come back, we'll be live and I'll introduce my guest. So don't go anywhere. Hang on. It's going to be a great show. And we have prizes. That's what always makes you stay. Prizes. Okay. Hold on. Hey, welcome to the Grow Your Glow podcast with me, your host, Dawn Fitch. And I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, wellness cheerleader, and girl trying to live her best life. When I started to feel overwhelmed with this new normal and felt like my light was dimming, I remembered all the things I needed to do to grow my glow. So if this is sounding familiar to you, sit back and relax because we're discussing great topics and we've got inspirational guests to make sure that you laugh, grow, and get your glow. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Grow Your Glow podcast, where you'll be inspired to shine. I am your host, Dawn Fitch. And remember, when you start to feel overwhelmed with this new normal, join us so you can laugh, grow, and get your glow. And of course, the Grow Your Glow podcast is sponsored by Puka Pure and Simple, of course. So welcome back, guys. I know I said last week was going to be the last week, but again, my tribe is pretty deep. And every time I think about it or come across somebody, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. How are they not on here? So my guest today, I'm saying she's gonna bring up the last podcast. We'll see though, because she is amazing, and I am going to introduce her right now. First of all, I want to also say because I have been having election stress. I am a political junkie, devastated about what is going on in this Trumpy world. But I can say, and I want to announce, and I just saw that for New Jersey, if you're in New Jersey, Governor Murphy was reelected. Thank the Lord Jesus, amen. Yeah, but I also realized that I'm gonna have to give it a break. Like I was tossing and turning, I couldn't sleep last night. Like he was my husband or something. Like calm down, Dawn. You gotta live your life either way. But it is good to know that Democrat is back in New Jersey. I'm gonna let that go because we might have some Black Republicans on here. All are welcome. All are welcome. All right. So my guest today. Whew, and I know I say this about everybody, but again, I said God has blessed me with a tribe of amazing women. This guest has been a Puka. I mean, she's been with Puka since like her baby, is a Puka baby. And like her baby is well into her 20s now. So she's just amazing. She's always been just so supportive of not only me and Puka, but just other women, everybody, just always, she definitely has a glow. So you're going to be so excited to hear her story because you will be inspired. So I'm going to read a little bit about her and stop talking so much. So Gay Glaspie, aka Gigi Made It, BKA, which I had to look up what BKA was. I was like, oh, better known as, okay. BKA Gigi is a 50-something-year-old who fell in love with knitting late in life. In just the last 11 years, she's currently known as the iconic Orange Lady. She's self-taught via YouTube, some wonderfully friendly yarn stores, and she is obsessed with all things orange. Gigi discovered knitting during a very challenging time in her life. Knitting is her ride or die, her BFF, her kind of therapy. Knitting has also become a beautiful bridge into a world of wonderful people and a way to universally connect with others through knitting. Her philosophy is it's not hard, it's new. And guys, hi, Gay.
Hello, Dawn.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Grow Your Glow.
Yes, thank you
I'm
for
very
having me.
excited to have you here. Look, let me get all my little stuff. As usual, I'm all discombobulated.
Never.
But I'm glad to have you on. Like I said, this was gonna be like the last. My last week was like, okay, that'll be the last of my little season. But I was
Okay.
like, how am I ending without Gay?
It's
So,
such an honor that you asked me for just for so many reasons. But yes, I'm happy to be here.
and we got so much good stuff to talk about.
We do.
Because
We
your
do.
story
We
is
do.
gonna blow people mind. Like I have a picture that I want to show. I'm not gonna show it now. I'm gonna wait till the scheduled time. That I was like, one who knew, and if I did know, I knew it would be Gay.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself. I sort of did, but I mean,
Yes.
you said
Yes.
hi. Okay,
Right.
all right. But I want to talk to you about just your story, the
Okay.
inspiration of knitting,
Okay.
and really how it started. I think it started in 2012.
Right, slightly before then,
Mhm,
but 2012 is where it really skyrocketed. As you heard when she read my bio, 2012 was probably the darkest
mm,
time in my life. Like within a span of what 3 to 4 months, I lost my dad suddenly, I lost my mom suddenly,
mm,
and then I lost my job of 22 years. So it was just like my foundation crumbled underneath me. And I've always had a job. I had never been unemployed ever. Um, it was a scary time.
mm,
And I found then, I got tired of telling people why I was unhappy. I got tired, somebody would say, "You still crying? Well, when did they die?" Like grief is it's a sticky
mhm,
emotion. And instead of having to explain, I knit, right? My yarn didn't ask me questions. My
mm.
yarn didn't care if I was crying. I knit. I often say that I wrapped my heart in yarn,
Oh my goodness.
and then I also said I held on to my yarn because those times when I did slip deep into the grief, I could pull myself back out, right?
Wow.
So yarn really became that therapy. Like I usually was knitting in the middle of the night. Everybody else was asleep. And if I wanted to talk to myself or say out loud, like, why me, or whatever the case was, my yarn held all of that. So I
Oh my
often tell
gosh.
people that, like, whatever I was knitting at the time holds those tears, holds
Wow.
those memories, holds those feelings. So I have pieces that are really like people that followed me from the beginning. I have a scarf that I made, a red scarf. My mother's favorite color was red. And I started this scarf on her first birthday, for the first birthday without her. And I finished
Mm,
it by Mother's Day. So I
wow.
call that my mommy scarf. And
Mm.
my followers be like, "Are you okay? You got your mommy around your neck today." Like, because they were
Wow.
there
So
as
each
I was going
piece
through
has
it.
a
Yeah,
memory to.
because
Wow.
I was knitting when my dad passed, like, and I finished this shawl and I wore it to his funeral,
Oh,
But it's like if I pick it up and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go there today because it brings me right back.
it has
So
energy in it.
it does, and you know, bad times, hard times, tough times, dark moments. What I've learned is they're simply that, they're moments in
Their
time. They don't
moments. Yeah.
define you, right?
Mhm.
Because you really, I used to say to myself, tell people I'm an orphan now because like I lost my mother and my father,
Yeah.
and I'm an only child. I'm my
Mm,
mother's only child. I have
mm,
siblings with my dad, but I would say all these negative things about myself, and I
mm.
had to stop. Like, I'm still here though, right?
Yeah.
There was a time where I was really like, now what? Like I felt like I was in a corner being beat up and I didn't know
Yeah.
why and who was attacking me. But I turned to my creative
But let
side.
me ask you, what made you had you knit before? Like what made you pick up the knitting needles
Now
and
that was that's the funny story. I'm former Verizon. I ran call center and we had sales incentives. It was time to rehash all the prizes, and I had some of my reps cleaning out the closet, and a rep came
mhm,
to me with a cup that had yarn in it and knitting needles. Now I crocheted. I learned to crochet as a kid in camp, I never would try knitting or even think that I could knit because it looks so polished. For example, this sweater that I have on, I made.
You made that?
Yes.
Girl, bye.
Right. So
I didn't make this jacket.
it looked more difficult than it actually is, but for that reason I never even considered trying. So when I looked at it, I said, is there more? She said no. So I took it home. It had a little piece of paper in it that had the instructions on it, the pattern, which I had no idea. So I went on YouTube, I looked it up. I figured out the little stitches. I made my first little holy scarf, and I forgot about it, to be honest with you. I let it go. Then at work, I walked past a coworker, and she was making a hat, Dawn. And I took a sticky because she was on the conference call. I said, could you make me one of them? Like, I'll pay you. I want that. So she looked at me, and her and I had talked about knitting. She knew I knew how to do it. So she writes down all the ingredients that I needed, the materials. And she said, there's a Michael's down the highway. Go get this stuff at lunchtime. I'm excited. I go, I pick up my color. I come back. I push the stuff on her desk. I write down, tell me how much, and I'll go
Oh, you
get the
thought she was
cash.
making it.
She pushed it right back. I said, what are you doing? She said, no, you're going to make this. I said, I can't do that. She said, I thought you said you taught yourself how to knit. I said, yeah, I know how to do I can't do that. So that day she taught me how to knit in a round, which will make a circle. She taught me how to do like the ribbing, this
That's
part here,
beautiful.
and then another stitch that's called seed stitch. And she told me go a certain amount of inches. And that got me home, but she didn't tell me how to finish it. So with crocheting, you just take the hook out. So I pulled
Well,
the
what's the
needles out.
difference between knitting and crocheting? Because people
Okay,
just
so
don't get.
well, crocheting, it's a hook. So this is what you crochet with. So this is the one
Ah.
thing. So it's the hook. Knitting is two needles,
Oh, okay.
right? So in this case, I'm making a sweater. So this is on,
Look how you got all your stuff sitting right next to you.
because I'm
Right there
always knitting, right? But this knitting is two needles.
is two needles,
That's the big difference. You're with crocheting, you're hooking.
and you're
Crocheting tends
pulling
to
it
take,
through.
right. Crocheting tends to use up more yarn than knitting does. But knitting, they both are very flexible, but that's the real big difference. Two needles
Okay.
versus a
So
hook.
you don't crochet, you knit for the most part.
For the most part, I knit. I know how to crochet. I
Okay.
don't crochet as often. I Knitting is my passion.
So I mean, you pretty much have. I want you to tell people where the knitting journey has taken you. First of all, and I don't want to give it away too early, but I just can't wait. I want you guys to see where knitting and the beautiful thing that she started during her grief, which was knitting, where it led
Yeah.
her. So I'm gonna
It-
so watch this picture, guys, because you're gonna be, and when you see it, that is what it is. All right, that is Gay in Vogue Knitting magazine. Can you see that? Can you see her picture in Vogue Knitting? First of all, I didn't know Vogue had, and then that's, of course, I had to put myself in there. That's
yeah,
when she taught us how to
we're going
knit.
to talk about that. Yes. But so here's the thing. I was knitting, because every time I came to the shop, I had something with me,
Mhm.
you know. But then I started like looking around in social media and realized like there was a knitting community, if you will. But I also realized really quickly I didn't see many people that looked like me,
Mhm.
right? So I'm going to the events, I'm meeting the different designers and all this other stuff, and I kept saying my dream job would be to get paid to go to all these different events and bring it back to the people that couldn't go, right? I always
Mm.
said that. And then I would see other people, yarn companies would send them yarn. And I was like, wow, I wonder if I'll ever get to a point where a yarn company will just give me their yarn. And the beginning of 2019, there was a racial uprising in the
Mhm.
knitting community. And my followers at the time, I had less than 10,000 because that year 2018 my goal was to hit 10,000 and I ended December at like 9,600 or something. So I was like disappointed, and I'm like, well, it'll happen, whatever. And there was a blog post that a woman said some things and offended a bunch of people, and a lot of my followers were like, Gigi, what do you think? I said, what do I think about what? They was like, the blog post that everybody's fighting about. I said, well, if they're fighting about it, I don't you can skip me on that. I don't
Mhm.
I don't do that stuff. So my followers just kept on. It wasn't like even the same people. People just were looking for my opinion, my point of view about what was going on. So I finally read it, Dawn, and I'm like, it's her blog, it's her opinion. She can say whatever she wants. I said, but if I had to say where I think she went wrong, was people just don't know how to apologize,
Mm.
right? Because she stepped on a ton of toes at the same time, and everybody was screaming, ouch, and she was defending herself, right? So I used an analogy, the trainer in me. I said, listen, I said, if you step on my toe, whether you intended to step on it or not, it still hurt. And you don't get the right to tell me because you didn't mean to step on my toe that it didn't
Mm.
hurt.
That's a good analogy.
Right. So
Yeah.
I said, it's my toe and it's my pain. You don't get to define that.
Right.
Everybody started, oh, follow Gigi, follow Gigi. I said, slow down, slow down. And I felt like doing that. I had to stand at my virtual Instagram door and
And
say, the only color you're going to get here is orange. If
wow.
you're coming because I'm black, do me a favor, don't.
Right. You
Because
weren't
that's
trying to
not
start.
fair to
You did.
me.
That's not what you wanted to do.
Exactly. I said,
Yeah.
I am not an expert on diversity. All I can do is tell you what I've experienced in life these 50 some odd years. I said, so don't do that to me. So, because it was just like, everybody, follow Gigi, follow. I was like, whoa, like
Plus, you
slow
you started
down.
something beautiful, like you said, for grieving, for stress
Right.
relief. So now this is not what you want this to turn
Right.
into.
So I went from 9,600 followers in December to 20,000
Woo!
in
You gained
January.
11,000. Look, me and my math. 11,000 followers.
Nosebleed.
Oh my
Okay. I
goodness.
woke up every day to 300 DMs. You
Oh
know,
my
people that didn't
goodness.
want to comment under the post. It was just, Shelby will tell you, it was crazy. So in January, Vogue has an event that we go to every year that, you know, it has turned into, I can't shop because soon as, oh, Gigi, can you take a picture of this? It's turned into that. Like it is,
Wow.
it's really crazy. And I one lady stopped me doing, and I stopped and I'm talking to her. And when she walked away, I went to turn around and walk away and realized I was surrounded, and all of those people were standing there waiting to talk to me.
Oh
And
my
I'm
goodness.
not, I love people, I enjoy this part of it, but then I was overwhelmed because
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah. In your space.
okay.
Like, what is this?
And
Yeah.
Shelby was like a hand of God. I just felt her hand, and she was like, guys, you don't know her as well as I do. I can see it in her face. She needs to eat.
Yeah.
She'll
Oh,
be
that was
back.
good,
And
Shelby. That
she
was good,
just
baby.
pulled me right out of the middle. She was
Yeah.
like, go somewhere and hide, right? Just for
Yeah.
get your bearings together.
Oh my
Because it was,
goodness.
everybody wanted to tell me about, their racial feelings. And it was just a lot. It was a lot. So for during that same time, all these companies were like, Gigi, can you do this? Gigi, Gigi. I was like, wait, hold on, slow down. Because who are you? I don't, do I know you? Like,
And
have
these
you?
were all yarn companies or something to
Yes,
do with the
they would.
industry?
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
everybody wanted a piece of me. Be quiet, Siri. I'm not talking to you. That's why you're having trouble. Um, people wanted me to speak at their events and this and that, and I'm like, I don't even know you. I try to do the research. I don't see nothing black on your page but the ink.
Wow.
No, thank you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was a lot of. I was the way to show. Look,
Token. Yeah.
I said, and that's what I kept saying. I'm not the token. I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
nobody's token. Don't do that
Yeah.
to me. It's not fair. So that's where it kind of started. And you know, when Vogue came to me and they said, we want you to write an article, and I'm like, I'm not a writer. They were like, have you looked at your Instagram lately? You write every day. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, but I'm not. So they was like, this is what we pay, blah, 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 blah. Deadline. Okay, no problem. So I said, I can write about whatever I want. They said, whatever you want. So
Wait, stop everybody. So Vogue magazine came to you and said, write whatever you want.
yes.
Okay. I just had to
And
clarify that
I
for
said,
everyone.
I wanted to write about, because the way that people, how people say we don't want to talk politics. I'm not here for
Right.
that, right?
Right.
So they would say, we just knit. If if you're not going to talk about knitting, then I'm not going to follow you. That's not a threat. You didn't announce when you follow me. You don't have to announce when you leave me. Just
Right.
go ahead.
Bye-bye.
I'm not
Right.
mad. So I wrote the article. I could never just knit because the overarching part of that I'm black
Oh,
is a thing in the
yeah.
industry. I've gone in yarn stores and been totally ignored. And
So
then
you're a yarn icon. Like you're an icon.
they say I'm just a knitter if you let me tell it. But when I would say things that happened to me, people would say, "Oh, Gigi, they didn't know that was you. I said, what does that mean?
Right.
What
Right.
does that mean? So from all of that has come like relationships, like the hook I just showed you. This company, they reached out, they made hooks in orange. They was like, Gigi, we have to send them to you because they're orange. I'm like, okay. I said, well,
So
just
why
send
the orange? What is orange for you? Is that somebody's favorite
orange.
color?
Yeah, orange has always been my favorite color. But
Okay.
as a people, and I'm talking about us black people, colorism, right?
Hmm.
Dark skin versus light skin. I was always told as a young kid we couldn't wear bright colors because I'm so dark, right?
Can't
So,
wear red lipstick. Can't.
right.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's what
I
I. Yeah.
kept my orange love to myself because I was always told I couldn't wear those colors because of
Yeah.
my tone. And when I was working in Florida, there was a lady. I worked in, I'm trained in a call center. I walked past her day, older black woman, doing every morning. She stopped me. Oh my God, your hair is so pretty. That is such a nice outfit. Oh, you smell good. I kept telling her when it's time for me to leave, I need to figure out how to shrink you and put you on my shoulder because every day this woman had something nice to say, except for the day that I had on a black dress and I had on this very bright yellow cardigan over top of it. And she said, come here, baby. Because she was older, like really could have been my auntie. She said, come here, baby. And I bent down. She said, you know, we can't wear them bright colors. And I said, I'm not pretty today. She
She
said,
just took
you,
everything right away.
she did. She said, no, you are. I said, so why are we talking about, am I not gorgeous? Like, cause she was, oh, you're just gorgeous. I said, I'm not all of that today. And she was like,
Mm,
no, you are. And I'm like, it bothered me because then looking at her, she was dark as me, if not darker, but all she wore was gray, white, brown, beige. Like when I thought
wow.
about it, I got off work doing, I got a manicure and a pedicure orange. I found me an orange dress. I found me some open toed sandals that was, listen, you could see me from the
Yes.
moon the next day because I was like, enough. We have to
Yeah.
stop. And I try to tell people now, I think it's overboard because I'm trying to make up for lost time. Like, because that was
What do you
just when I
mean?
turned 50. I started showing my orange love
Oh, okay.
just 5
Gotcha.
years ago.
Gotcha.
I hit it. I would have little hints of it. Something
Yeah.
would be orange, but not enough for you to realize that it was my favorite color.
But people don't realize that's a big thing. Like right now, I don't know what is happening with my light. I would look mad yellow in here. I mean,
Right.
you and I are pretty much the same complexion.
Correct.
And when I remember in college, it was like maybe after college when I wore my first red lipstick and
Yes.
just walked and look inside to side. Is somebody going to say something? Like that
Right.
is a real
It
thing
is a thing.
with browner women
It
of
is.
wearing colors like that.
It
So
is.
you just totally killed it. It was like, I'm going to put everything orange
Right.
and go with it.
And then
Wow.
I gave myself permission to be okay with answering the people when they wanted to know why orange. And I'm like, the answer is heavy. I'll answer you, but it's heavy. I
Hmm.
said, because it goes back to slavery,
Yeah.
the field slave and the house slave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The lighter you were, the better off you were. You got treated, slightly better
Mm.
if there was such a thing. But if you were darker,
You
you
were
were
outside.
less than. And
Yeah.
we did that to ourselves.
Yeah.
We took that from that time and we internalized it.
Right.
And people like, oh, well, I think you're beautiful in orange. I'm like, yeah, well, it's a loaded question because I always
Yeah.
get that. But it has never have I ever did I ever think, although I would say it would be nice if a yarn company would send me. Now I have one of the major yarn companies. It's called Madeline Tosh. They created an orange. We worked together. They created an orange yarn. The name of the yarn is Gigi Loves Orange. So we call it Glow.
What? You have your own yarn?
Listen, Dawn. Well, it's a couple of companies. They not stupid. They will do something orange and name it after me because they know it's gonna sell when they say it's Gigi's Orange. But
Okay,
this
so I didn't
company,
realize how you have taken over the yarn industry as
listen,
a
this
black woman.
company, I get a percentage of the sales when anyone buys the orange. So I get a check from them quarterly.
What?
Yes.
Everybody go out and buy orange Gigi's orange. Oh my.
Yes,
And this is
Dawn.
nothing that you planned,
No,
Gay.
no. I just kind of fell into it. I was trying to keep myself together and it just happened. Like last year, I was in a program. There's a virtual yarn event called Knit Stars, right? And when the owner reached out to me to ask me to participate in this fifth season, I said, I know what a Knit Star is, and I'm not that. And she was like, yeah, you are. I'm like, The designers, the people that have done it, because we were the fifth season. So the four prior
Is it like a
seasons,
Project Runway type of thing, like one of those shows?
no, it's a virtual um learning class, I guess you would say,
Okay.
because you get like 10 teachers, if you will, and they teaching different things. And that was the
Okay.
other thing. I said, what am I teaching? What do you, I don't get it. So the first article that I ever did was in a magazine called Making. And I talked about sustaining growth by being
Okay.
authentic, by being vulnerable,
Mm,
and being, why am I, authenticity, vulnerability. What am I missing? I'm missing a piece. But that's what we talked about that. So that became my course, how just showing up as you.
gotcha. Yeah.
And I kept saying, my course is not traditional, what you normally have. I said, I can't do this. And they come out, a whole camera crew, and it unbelievable. Okay. Like I
So did
still
this happen yet? Or this
that
is
yeah, this was it was last year.
that was last
And
year?
it's an affiliate type thing. So
Okay.
you get a link and you get 40% of the sale each time.
Gay, with the audience you have.
Doing. When it was time, because other things that I do, affiliate things, they have my PayPal. They'll drop it in the PayPal. They called me. They was like, we need to wire this to you.
Okay.
Doing tears. Okay, tears. I was able to, from that dark time, me not working, I got buried in debt. And just that one situation, I was able to pay some stuff off, get some breathing room financially. And, you guys know, well, I'm an Apple freak, right?
Yes.
But in the midst of all of that, I had a MacBook and it died and I couldn't afford to replace it. I just, listen,
And this check helped with that.
li- li- the Apple thing came on. I was like, yep, send me that.
Oh my.
And I don't
Okay.
need nobody's payment here.
Oh my
It was just, and for me to be able to do that, just being me,
God.
right? For
Right.
me to be able to do that after I cried many a nights, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure what was going to happen, how I was going to find, because I still have yet, well, now I'm at between. So I'll just say this: last year, Gigi made it stuff by itself, $60,000. My tax lady was like, "Wait."
What?
She was like, "You said you had a side hustle. This is a whole.
This
What?
is a
What is
real
this?"
this is a
She
real
said,
front
"This
hustle.
is
This is
somebody's
yeah.
annual salary, ma'am. What is happening
Yay.
here?"
This is just for merchandise and things, speaking stuff.
Speaking, merchandise, affiliate type things. Like you have
A whole
companies that
salary.
will
Oh my
seriously
goodness.
like ask me to participate and stuff and like play me a flat fee just to say that I'm using their yarn and I'm doing this. And then I get an affiliate link on top of that.
And you have a major audience that keeps growing now.
And I'm so I can honestly tell you, I'm so protective of my audience
Yeah.
because they spend money. And I'll be telling people, listen, don't play with my people.
Right.
If you're gonna send something to me, be prepared for the masses. Like don't have 10 and then they sell
Right.
out because then they coming to me screaming like
With
we
my
need
stuff.
that,
Right.
So you know, it
So
really
let me
just
ask you this, Gay. Has
exploded.
all of this fame and just notoriety, has it taken away the serenity of knitting for you or
Nope.
has it added to it?
And I really think that because I have not allowed that to make my head big, or we laugh and joke at home and with my personal friends with the names that I get, right? So um but I say to them, like, for a long times I was afraid. If you let me tell it, I couldn't make a sweater. And they was
Yeah.
like, Gigi, you no, I've never done it, I'm afraid. And I got to the point where I'll cast on a sweater in a heartbeat and keep going now. But there was a time when I was afraid and I had no problem with saying that. So it was like people that are can relate to how I feel and felt a certain way, in the industry, or felt other because they wasn't making all the sweaters that everybody else was making, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same thing. I'm like, I guess I'm not a real knitter because I would never make that. I don't think I
Right.
could, but it's just me being authentic, is being me. They got me.
They got you. And
Just
that's what I love. Like that's what the whole thing of this Grow Your Glow is, that through adversity,
right.
God can make some amazing things
Listen,
happen.
listen. If I've never ever believed that when he shuts a door, just turn around because that window just cracked. It might only cracked a little bit, but it's cracked. And I like prior to the interview with the Knit Stars, because they do a lifestyle interview with you
Mhm.
before it gets into your course. And I said to her, I said, she's like, you're so just humble. She said, you people like stop you in airports and stuff now. She was like, and you're still just, I was like, because in honesty, I really needed to know, like, it's nice to meet you. I'm just as happy to meet you as you are to meet me, but I'm just
Mm.
like you. I just like to
But
knit.
a lot
Like
of people
knitting,
don't think that way. They
they
just get
don't.
that
They
air about them, and
and
you're still you. You're
I
just
am.
still you.
I really am. And um I'm often shocked or put off the way that people react. And I'm like you doing people have walked up to me crying. I'm like, why are we crying? I don't let
Did
people cry
something happen?
themselves. Like, why I'm gonna cry with you, and I don't even know
Yeah.
why I'm crying. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening? You don't understand. You inspire me so much, and but I'm like, okay, but don't
But
cry
gay, that
though.
inspiration is real. And I don't know how you how you learn to accept that. But we all know we could see something or hear something that somebody tells us, and it could be so powerful. And you're doing that for people.
And,
So
and
you
yeah,
got to be
and
able
but
to
I just
just
again, I like you had I had this 5 women doing that. One is the owner of the Knit Stars, and then just other people that follow me at least once a book. Did you start writing a book yet? You need to write a book.
oh
The one
yeah.
like she's like, it's written already. You want me to help you? She said, because I could just go through your blog posts and your Instagram. We got a
Yeah.
book. I'm like,
Do
I
you
don't
want to write a book, or that's just not what you want to do?
maybe, but there's my insecurities. There's my
Mm,
I'm still that little girl who was told she wasn't pretty because she was dark,
right.
or I
Right.
wasn't good enough, or I wasn't the popular one. That I'm still her, right?
Yeah.
So when all these people are like coming at me and wanting all this stuff, I'm like, what are they talking about? Like
But
I
is it
don't.
helping you work through it? Do you feel like you're getting through it a little more or addressing it? Or is it just sort of poking at it?
I, I'll put it this way: I don't know Gigi. I don't know Gigi. I really would like to know. I need to know Gigi. Like I don't like I look at people. If I could have an out of body experience, like it tickles me. And then what I love is watching people that follow me, that are seeing me, and then watching the person that's present that don't know me,
To
don't
see
know
how they
anything
react
about me,
to
because
what do
they're
you
like when I went to California, beginning of 2020, I went to right before the pandemic, all hell broke loose. I was just getting off the plane when they was like shutting everything down.
mm,
But when that organization came to me, one of the things they was like, we don't know if our audience really knows you because it's West Coast and blah blah blah. I said, no, I got quite a few fans out there. They always say to me, you could come out here, like we love you too. And there was one lady, she was in a wheelchair doing, I'll never forget. Every time I saw her, she was looking at me. She had her head twisted, the face twisted up, just frowning, and she looking at people like, "Why?" Because people were stopping
mm,
me. They wanted to take pictures, and
mm.
they're hugging me, and all people had gifts for me, and just So she's like, so she finally she grabbed my hand, and I said yes. She said, "Who are you?"
You like, yes.
I said, "My mother's child." She said no. So she opens up the book because they had like a in the book. They had a page saying I was there and what time because I was doing like meet and greets at different places. So you had like my schedule on there. She said they have a whole page of you in here, and I don't know who you are. So who are you? I was like, again, I'm my daughter's mother, my best friend's friend. I'm not sure what you want, but I mean, what's your claim to fame? I said I have a blog. She was like, "Oh, okay. Well, why does everybody keep talking about orange?" So I was like, "Cause that's my favorite color." She said, "Well, everybody has favorite colors." I said, "They do."
Wow. You talk
It
about the
just
straight
really was
negativity.
right. So I
Yeah.
walked away, and it was the last day. Like I would open up the event every day. I would be at the door and hyping the crowd up and whatever. And it was the last day, and I was rushing because I needed to get out of there. And she stopped me, and she was like, "I went home and I was telling my daughter about you." And she said, and my daughter said to me, "Ma, you don't know Gigi?" And she was like, "You know Gigi?" She was like, "Everybody knows Gigi." And she was like, "Well, now I'm embarrassed because I act like an ass." I said, "You did." And she looked at me. I said, "Yeah, you did. You were really rude." But it's like,
Look, good for you.
I get that.
Yeah.
People like, "Well, who are you?" Because they feel left out because they're
Right.
watching
Right.
everybody else carry on. Um, but I don't know that I would have expected it to be where it is. Like I'm always like, Shelby.
All right, you still pinching yourself like, I can't believe. But
Yeah,
let me ask you, had you not answered that tweet
right.
with everything, it came, it stemmed from
It
there.
stems from that, me reacting to that, that post. But then at that point, that's when I decided that they were going to get me, whatever I was
Mm-hmm.
feeling. So fast forward to pandemic, George Floyd, right? All of that. And I would get DMs and private messages, Gigi, are you okay? And I'm like, how could I be? How could I be? So
Right.
I would give people, how can I help you? Like, what can I do for you, Gigi? A lot of people
Wow.
would say. And I said to them, everybody saw this picture. It was that the cops were standing on one side, the protesters were behind, and it was a line of white women with their arms locked together, standing, like
Mm-hmm.
protecting the protesters. And I said, if you want to help us, do that. Stand in the gap.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I said,
Yes.
stand in the gap. And that became like a t-shirt. I had stickers and everything. People was like,
Everything
Gigi,
you
look.
say,
Yeah,
hey.
they was like, that needs to be a shirt. So I made the stand in the gap. And Dawn, the people that sending me pictures, they brought them from the kids up to the grandparents. The whole family had on stand in the gap. And they
Mm,
was like,
mm,
thank you
mm.
so much. You're making me have hard conversations, but conversations that are needed. So it's like, it's a little bit of everything, but it's me wrapped up in the orange and the yarn. And it's resonating with people,
It
like,
You're resonating with
yeah,
people.
with like my newsletter, I do what I call Monday mood. I
Okay.
don't bombard them with a whole bunch of junk unless I have something special going on. But every Monday morning they get a Monday mood, right? So it's either like this week I said we need more and in the world and less or,
Okay. Let's get
right?
into that.
Right. We
Okay.
need more and, like, we can, you can start your day, can start off bad, but you can also end up with a good day, right? It
Mm,
doesn't have to be a bad day or
right.
a good day. It
We
can
need
be
more
a little bit
and.
of both, right?
Okay.
Doesn't have to be black and white. Doesn't have to be poor versus rich. And
Mm.
we can all, if we pull together, we can close that gap and stop or and right. So little stuff like that I say in my moods. And to every Monday I wake up and my inbox is loaded because everybody's responding. So Gigi, I get up early because I'm like, I'm waiting for my Monday mood. What's she gonna say this
Wow.
week? And it's just,
It's
I'm
surreal.
evolving. Yeah. And it's just, I'm always like a little shocked. People react like, where is it? I just got a package
But this is
from
faith.
Australia. This
This is
lady sent me this silk orange bathrobe that is absolutely beautiful. I don't know where it is right now,
a
but I just,
bathrobe.
Dawn, listen, the people, they pay attention because I love hearts. That's another thing. One lady sent me
Oh my goodness.
this
So you
ceramic,
just
like,
getting stuff in the mail. You just getting stuff
listen,
in the mail
I
all
have to
the
tell people now, no. Gigi, can I? No, thank you.
no. Wow.
I'm like, you can give it to somebody in my honor because at this point, it's, it's too much. Like, I get,
But as much as you feel like, okay, this might be a lot, it's not because obviously people need something and you're filling a need.
yeah,
So you have to not block their blessing because you're their
true,
blessing.
true.
And you have to just realize that God put you in that position
Yeah,
and you got to fall in line and keep
yeah.
inspiring these people because they need you.
And I
You're
feel
giving
like,
them something.
and I try to tell people, like, I don't, somebody said to me, you should be a coach. And now I got the one lady every Monday now. She's like, did you start yet? I said, what? She said, I need you to take all your Monday moods and put them in a little book. She said, because I would buy
They
it. And I'm
got you
like,
writing 30 books. They got you
right,
writing so
listen,
many books.
listen. And she was like, I need this for my daughter. She said, because I forward your emails every Monday with her miserable self. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
thanks, mom.
right. But I'm just talking to myself out loud, is basically what I'm doing. I'm talking to myself on Instagram, and it's just, I always do a call to action. That's the marketing in me from Verizon.
Hmm.
I always say something like, am I the only one that, or
Right.
can you relate? And,
Right.
it explodes because everybody's like, oh my God, Gigi, I'm so glad you said that. Cause what happened to me? Well, and people get to say what they feel or what they're going through. And then I respond. And that's the other thing. Oh my God, I can't believe you responded. You asked me a question. I don't,
Gay, I
so
don't think you're seeing your celebrity. I know you
no,
don't.
I
Yeah.
don't. I swear to God, I don't. I
You're
really
not
don't. Cause
seeing it.
I'm like, What you
Yeah.
mean? Why respond? You ask me a question. Like, what if I don't know the answer? I'll say to you, I don't know. Let me see if I can find out. But I respond, and that just, oh my God,
They're
you
amazed.
got people because I sing a song when I open my mail, right? I'm just silly being me, right? I can't tell you how many videos I've gotten of little kids when they get the mail. Mommy, come on, we gotta sing the Gigi song. I got mail, I got mail, and
I've seen it.
I be crying.
I've seen it.
I'm
Gay,
in
you're an
tears.
icon. You're an
It's
icon.
and all started out of grief.
Started out of grief.
So
But
I
he
think
that's what
like,
he'll use anything. He will
yeah,
use any and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Grief
yeah,
and knitting.
yeah, yeah.
And look, and somebody who had a bad reaction, had some bad things to say racially, and it
Right.
just
Just
catapulted you to where you needed to
it
go.
like I started a hashtag doing we knit too, because still in Florida, I was sick. I had just finished making like a shrug, this big oversized thing. And when I say finished making, the strings were still hanging. Like I hadn't.
Mhm.
So I ran downstairs because I was staying in the hotel and before they closed to get me some tea because I didn't feel good. So I get off the elevator and it's a young woman who was probably about my age and her mom. And they both said, "Oh my God, that is beautiful." So I looked back, I smiled. I said, "Thank you." So they were like, "Where'd you get that from?" And I said, "Oh, I made it." And I kept going. The older woman has her hands on me. She said, "No, I'm talking about this." I said, "I know. I made it." She said, "That's knit."
I
I
know.
know. I made it. She was like, "Oh, because I didn't think that you people," and her daughter pulled her away. And I turned around, the concierge, because I had been in that
Where were
hotel
you?
for in Florida,
Okay.
in DeLand, Florida. And the concierge, because he used to always laugh, he said every time he would see me, if I was sitting in the lobby, I was making something. And he was like, "And she made them things on her feet too, because I saw it." Like, because he got offended. Because he was
Right.
like, he was a white man, but he was like, "I'm sorry." He was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Did that just happen?"
Mhm.
He said, "It did." I said, "Did she just you people me?" He
Mm.
said, "She did." And I went back upstairs and I was like, hashtag we knit too. And we is whoever, excuse my French, but whoever the hell wants to knit.
Right.
Whether
Right.
you're a man, a woman, a young person, an old person, a black person, whatever. Like, stop putting these labels on people
Right.
and these expectations because that's just wrong. Like, I
Yeah.
was furious, but that became a
We
t-shirt,
knit too.
a coat. It just all kind of.
Yeah.
But my thing was like, hashtag we knit too.
Yeah.
We can do this too. Just I didn't think you people. Wait, what? And her daughter was like, she turned beet red and she just pulled her mother away and she's
Mhm.
mouthing behind her mother, "I'm sorry." And
Wow. Well, at least the daughter recognized it. At least
did
she
she just
recognized
you
how
people
wrong it
me?
was.
But and that was the thing. And I think like my logo,
But gay, that's also you're an advocate and you're reaching a certain demographic of people.
right? Because when I changed
Older
my
knitting
logo,
people that need some. I
when I
love your
changed
logo.
when I changed my logo to this,
Yes.
is when it's really like our people
Yeah.
started like, because I'll be honest and tell you that 80% of my following is white people,
Okay.
right? But when I started, like, people would stop me, "Where'd you get that from?" And I'm like, "That's my logo. I've never seen anything with us on it knitting." I'm like, "Okay."
Wow.
So they were like, "Can I buy that?" You can go to my website,
Ah,
you
go
know,
to
right.
gigimadeit.com.
So um it's more than just knitting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's
It
a
really
movement.
it saved me. Um it still does.
Mhm.
I've been sick this summer and I wasn't knitting as much, but when I felt okay, I grabbed my you like I started making this in June and I just finished it
Mm,
maybe a
mm,
couple of
mm.
weeks ago.
Mm, mm, mm.
So this is forever and always going to remind me of the summer that I was sick all
That
summer
this whole
long, right?
summer,
Right.
yeah.
Your feelings, for me anyway. Like I could pick up a piece I made and tell you where I was, what was going on
Wow,
in my
that's
life.
beautiful. It's like your journal. Your
It
knitting is your
is. It
journal.
is. It
Your
is.
pieces are
The
your journal.
stitches, yep. But
So
what
let
I
me
want
ask.
to say to
Oh, go ahead.
you, somebody
Mhm.
said, I'm Gigi made it, Florence Johnson. Gigi made it, all one word. And I tell people that that name has dual meaning.
Okay.
So if you see me with something handmade on knit, I made it, right? But the flip side of that is when you know my story about 2012,
Yeah,
I
you
made it.
made it. You made it.
You know, I
Oh,
made
that's
it, and I'm
beautiful.
still making it.
That's beautiful.
I
So
did. I would get up, but then y'all gonna see all the junk on my bed. But I did make this sweater.
that's
I'm
okay.
very,
Is
very
it
proud.
long?
It is. It's all the way
Oh.
down to my knees. It's like a
Ooh.
I'll send you
Can
a
they
picture.
buy your pieces or
I
you
don't
don't
do that
do that
anymore.
anymore?
Remember I
Okay.
used to have an
Yes.
Etsy
Yeah.
shop because you
I do. I have a Gigi made it.
so let me say this about Miss Dawn. Oh, I thank you, Joyce. Let me say this about Miss Dawn. Okay. When I found Dawn, I probably was I think I was at a convention at work in Virginia somewhere, and I came down to the marketplace and they were closing up, and everybody was closing, shutting down, and I bought these little samples of their she just gave me a bunch of samples. And I got home when she said she was from New Jersey. I was like, "Oh, I'll find you. I'll get more." I wanted to go away. Couldn't find them. Everywhere I looked, they had just moved from where they were. I couldn't find them. When I finally found Dawn, we climbed up them steps. It was a bunch
The
of us. Remember
warehouse.
that? We fell up
Yes.
in there all
Oh my
loud and
gosh.
strong, but fell in love,
Yeah.
right? I am a firm believer that all things unfold as they should. And we have just been Puka fans, and I've created millions of other Puka fans
You
from the
have
beginning.
vanilla sand.
Oh God, right? And then she was like, Gigi, you should come and teach a class. And I'm like, I can't, what? I can't do that. Right.
Mhm.
So even though things happen and life gets dark, we all get tired of hearing the same thing. Surround yourself with the right people and blah, blah, blah. But
Mhm.
that really matters, guys,
Yeah.
because listening to or just being around Dawn and seeing her mood boards up,
Mm.
and what when I saw that picture that you met Oprah, I cried like I met Oprah because I
You
knew what that
did.
meant to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, like, I was so, because I knew just from being around and listening to you what that meant
Yeah.
to you. And I
Yeah.
was just so like, oh my God. Right. So it's just,
That's
um,
why I love our circle because when you talk about celebrate, we all
yes,
celebrate each other. Like
yes,
just happy to see what
yes,
happens to the next person. And
yes,
that's the best way to live because
it
then you
is.
get your joy and somebody else's joy.
Absolutely. And that's the way you lift each other up. And I keep
Yes.
telling people, like a lot of these things that happen to me, Vogue and traveling all over the place, yarn stores sending for me, how much are you going to charge? I said, for what?
Right.
To come and do a meet and greet. There's a fee for that? Okay. Like I had to,
Yeah.
guys, what am I supposed to tell them that, you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
just so watch who's around you,
Yeah.
right? You need people that are going to lift you up. You need people that can um, push you, pull you if
Mhm.
need be. And then you also have to be willing to be pushed or
Yeah.
pulled, right?
Mhm.
Um, but know that dark moment, like this is what I've learned. I still struggle with the grieving part of it,
Yeah.
because I had so much in such a compact
Yeah.
size, and then to add insult to injury, as they say. 5 years later, my bonus dad died the same day as
Yeah.
my mother.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, uncle, I quit. Like,
Yeah. It's too
I
much.
had
I can't.
enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I'm still here. Like,
It's still here.
we talk about fear and we talk about, being unsure. I'm unsure every day. Is this going to be the day that the people get tired of looking at orange? But I show up anyway.
You show up
Right?
anyway.
I tell people, they were like, well, how do you manage your fear? I put it in my pocket and I just go ahead.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm always, I'll post something doing and I'll be like, is this the post that they're going to be like, okay, we tired of you
Stop looking for it. You
and the
gotta cut
orange.
that out.
Right. No, but this
But
is
that's real. That's
right.
real.
These are
That's
how
real.
this
Yeah.
is me just
Yeah.
being 100% authentically me. Like
Yeah.
they're going to get tired of, and they're like, Gigi, soon as I see orange, I'm like, oh, that's not Gigi. And that's the other thing. I get inundated
With
anything orange.
Anything.
Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see
Pumpkins.
this?
This, you're like,
Listen,
okay, I'm
everything.
good.
I was down the bike ride and the house had an orange door. I thought about you, Gigi. I was like, thank you. But
You are the sun, gay. You are the sun.
but I think for this group and what you're trying to do with this group, self love,
Mhm.
trying to grow past your self inflicted insecurities. Because if you
Mhm.
think about it, we do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I would tell myself that I wasn't a real knitter. I would say to
Right.
myself that a yarn company would never send anything to me. I said that. Nobody said that to
It's a
me. I
it's
did.
it's
Right,
our thoughts.
right, right. They talk about that imposter syndrome. Like
Mhm.
I'm just me. Like I don't. Somebody tell
Wait,
Crayola.
Pat
Hi,
said
Pat.
somebody tell Crayola. I'm like, there's a Gigi made it crayon in here.
Listen, people all the time. And that's the thing. It's always somebody else
Right.
that sees in me what I don't feel or don't believe, and they're like, "No, we got to
Yeah.
do this." Like
Yeah.
I just came back from Reno, and the owner, every when I first met her in California, she was like, she walked past me, Gigi, and I looked. She said, "I'm gonna make you a millionaire." Then she said, "Wait, are you a millionaire?" "I'm not a millionaire." We're gonna turn the world orange, okay? And
Let's
she
go.
just like she had her team call me. "We want you to come to Reno." I'm like, "For what?" They was like to do a meet and greet.
But gay,
And
if
listen,
you were not you, these people would be gone. If you
true,
were not you, you would
true,
not get these endorsements.
yeah,
They see you, but then
yeah,
they know you. And once they know you, they want to give you.
yeah,
Like if you were
yeah,
like they'd be like,
right,
we're over her.
yeah,
It may have been sort of like a fluke how they came in,
right,
but once they got in, they fell in love with you and your
yeah,
authenticity.
yeah,
So it's not imposter syndrome. And I
yeah.
know we
It's
all do have it because you're like, how is this happening to me?
right,
It's a combination of faith and they
yeah,
know you.
yeah,
They know your
yeah,
inner heart. They see what we're seeing right now, the
right,
glow, the what, the
yeah,
yes, I'm gonna talk to you. Yes, I mean, and that's they see you. They
yeah.
see you.
Yeah,
So
it's been. But Dawn was the first one. I had my first little teacher in the class to teach how to knit. We had
I'm gonna
two
go back to
sessions.
that tonight. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. Because I was
we
like,
had
yeah,
two
you was like,
sessions.
sweetie, maybe you should do something else. Like, okay. Maybe I'll draw. I'll draw something.
But
It was beautiful though.
yeah,
It was
just
the class, everybody
yeah,
enjoyed it.
we had, and that's
Yeah.
still. It's funny how you build relationships. Because
Hmm.
I have built some of the greatest relationships that I
Through
never
this.
ever would have imagined meeting some of these people. But it has just been a journey. And again, if you let me tell it, I was in the darkest
Yeah.
space of
Yeah.
my life and I had no idea what tomorrow held. And for this to blow up the way that it has,
It's
like,
amazing. So
people that
where
I
does it go
hold,
from here, Gay? Where does it go? Like
I
where do
don't
you
know.
see this going?
I don't know. I
Is it a
think,
talk show? Is it
look at Florence. Yes, the fact that she responded to my question, I was like, she said my name. Cut it out.
Thank you,
And that's what I
Florence.
tell people. I'm like, cut it out. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. I sit, I watch Game of Thrones and screen at the TV. And I think that
Yes.
kind of stuff is what
Yeah.
made me more real to folks because I
Right.
started like live reacting to Game of Thrones the last
Yes.
season in my stories. And they were like, "Oh, you got to save these in highlights," because I be telling my coworkers, "No, listen, you didn't even see the show. You got to listen to her watch it."
So now you went from knitting to
Right.
Game of Thrones
Yeah, it's
to
just
wow.
again me,
Right.
right? I found a space that I can just be
Be
me, good,
you.
bad, or indifferent. If I'm happy
Right.
today, I'm sad today, I'm mad because of something
Right.
racial happened, yet another black person was killed, and I don't
Right.
shy away from that stuff,
Right. Right.
um,
Because you're
because
not
it is
worried
a
about your audience. This
right.
is just who I am. If you like me, you like me. If not, it's
Right, and
okay.
and they are, black women have the stigma of being angry, right?
Hmm.
And one thing that I will take credit for is I think it's the trainer in me. I will find a way to get my message across to you without raising my voice,
Hmm.
but my words are just as powerful
Hmm.
and you'll get my message.
Yeah.
And I think where somebody else is saying the same thing that I'm saying, but their comments, they're fighting with the people.
Right.
I say it my way and I get more, I didn't even think about it that way.
Hmm.
You know what? Thank you, Gigi, for saying that because I need to sit down and talk to my family, you
Wow.
know. that kind of thing. Like I had one lady, she was like, her kids running around the house, my toe, my pain, and they'll just walk away. And I was like, it's true. You even if you didn't intend to hurt somebody's
Yeah.
feeling, you don't get the
Yeah.
right to say, because I
Right.
didn't mean it that way.
That it
Your
didn't
feelings
hurt.
can't be hurt. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but they can.
Yeah.
They can, and you
Wow.
don't get to say that. That's not yours, it's mine. You know, but
Yeah,
it's
you're a
little
whole
stuff like that.
messenger. You're a whole messenger.
So it's, and it all started out in knitting. Just
But look, I think that's a testimony how God uses everything.
he does.
And he will get you to where you need to go through whatever vehicle that you are using at that point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
And I see
well,
we're at the top of the hour.
we are, and
Are
this
we
has
going to
been
talk
good.
about the giveaway?
Yes, Gay has a giveaway that I hope I win, but okay. No, we're gonna give it to. We're gonna let Gay choose who it is. First of all, tell us who what it is.
Okay, I need you to get your child first. You
I
see,
see
Shelby
her.
B, I be in the comments fighting with the people.
Shelby,
She do.
Shelby,
Listen,
where's
you
your
will
juice box?
listen. You will have a rare person that will get
Yeah,
spicy in my
yeah.
comments,
And
but they
your baby
always
don't play that.
do it when I'm asleep. So I
Yeah.
wake up in the morning to what you not gonna do. Oh wait, hold, time out. What
You're like, wait, wait,
happened?
wait, 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 wait,
She was
wait.
like, my
Yeah.
mother is not waking up to your nonsense. But I was like, whoa,
Oh,
whoa, whoa, what
yeah.
happened?
You got to get the baby. Get the
Right, listen,
baby.
because she look, and then she get all her friends. They like, oh, we fighting
The
it. Where?
beehive. You
I'm
got your
like,
own orange beehive.
yes. But listen, when Dawn said that she usually does a giveaway, I did not think that the audience in the tribe were makers. I could be wrong. So I didn't want to do anything that was knitting related or yarn related. However, um, my baby has a book club, and we are avid readers in this household. And this book came out, was
Oh,
it this year? It's new. It came out earlier this year, and it's called The Professional Troublemaker: The Fear Fighter Manual by Lovey Ajayi Jones. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. If you're not, look her up. This is her second New York Times bestseller book. This book is amazing. I'm
wow.
actually going to send one to Dawn because she was not aware of it. Had I known that, I would have had it to her already a long time ago. But Dawn, you actually can pick a random in the comments, any,
Okay.
whatever, it doesn't matter. And they just get their mailing information to you, and I will have a book shipped to them. But this is, I think it's
I might have to go
apropos.
with Florence Johnson because she has been
Okay.
the most commenting all that I'm seeing. Florence been commenting since you got on.
Well, Florence, it is.
Florence, you have just won
Yes.
the professional troublemaker.
Yes. The Fear Fighter Manual. This book is amazing.
Really?
Amazing, amazing. So, I think I was sharing with Dawn earlier, the one part of the book that really stuck out to me is she says that your fears are not your own, they
I
were
love
given
that.
to you.
I
And I
love
mean,
that.
just really think about the things that you're afraid of because somebody else told you to be afraid. Somebody
Yeah.
else told you about the boogeyman. Somebody else told you to be afraid of the dark. Because as
Yep.
a baby, think about a kid. A kid will just walk into a dark room. They don't
And
what?
not even think about it.
No,
When you said that, I was like, every fear that you have is because somebody was like, "Ooh, you
don't
should be
li-
afraid of that."
right.
Wow.
And but
Wow.
this book is just
I can't wait to read it. Me and Florence, we gonna read our book.
yes, yes. So I'm gonna need two addresses from you, Dawn. I need
Okay.
Florence's information and yours,
I
and
will
I'm gonna
get that.
send you guys that book. But I hope, I know everybody's not knitters and I know everybody's not makers, but I hope what you got from this, especially in the tribe and growing, you know, getting your glow on and
Mhm.
moving yourself past wherever you think you shouldn't be. Just know that whatever that bad thing is, it's just a moment. I've learned that it'll be 10 years coming up next year
Wow.
that my world fell apart, and
Mm. You're still here.
I'm still here. I made
You're
it.
still here. You made it. You
Yep.
made it. And you
We
and
made
you
it.
brought 20, 30,000 other people with you. Probably even
Yeah.
more than that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That are
Yeah.
just
No, it's at what, I'm past 50,000 now.
what?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, then look after this, because the tribe is going to be bringing you another 400, another 400.
Yeah,
No,
no,
but this is amazing.
it's been an amazing journey. Like never did I think I would be a published writer. I
Yeah. But Gay, this is just the beginning.
And
If
then
like he's
doing,
unrolling stuff, so
yeah,
this
and
is just the beginning.
when we got the magazine, when they sent me the copies in the mail, I didn't even realize on the front cover on the bottom it said Gigi speaks. I like to passed out. I was like, why are they
Wow.
playing with my feelings right
Wow.
now? So it was just
Wow.
a really proud moment. It really was.
We are proud of we're proud of you and we're happy for you.
Thank
We are
you.
enjoying the ride.
Yeah, it's been and that's a powerful thing because you were there from the beginning.
Yep.
You
We
know,
see
like
the evolution,
yeah,
evolution.
my followers that have been with me like from the very beginning, you know,
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, I be telling people, "I knew Gigi when she first started."
Right.
It's just like it's amazing. And just like all of my support, like because the majority of my friends don't knit or anything like
Right.
that, but very supportive, like
Yes.
people are like, "Oh, I want to go with you to one of these events." I'm like,
You might not have fun, but yes, we
you
will.
might not want. I'm like, it's really, I love it. I get a kick out of it, but like, I can't walk two steps. Like I keep
Oh
saying,
my.
one man, I'm gonna tell this story, then we could go. I was standing online to get some food, and this man walks up to me and he said, "Give me your bags." Broad daylight. I said, "Sir." He said, "Your bags, give me your bags." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "You see that woman over there?" So I turned around. This is a lady. She doing like this. She jumping up and down. I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's my wife." He said, "And I've been walking around here for the last 3 hours looking for an African American woman with curly hair and orange. Give me your bag. Go take pictures with my wife so I could go home." I was like,
Oh,
so now
okay.
I'm
Okay.
patting, because I was standing in line to get my French fries. I'm patting my pockets. He says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm gonna give you money." He said, "Oh, so you want me to get divorced too? Tell me what you're ordering. Please go take a picture with her so I can go home." So
Oh
I tell the
my
lady, I
goodness.
said, I go to her. She was like, "Oh my God, we've been looking for you." I said, "I'm not leaving here until I see Gigi." So I'm taking pictures. I said, "Your husband's not happy." She was like, "He'll be fine because now I'm gonna go shop." I said, "Oh, he think y'all going home now." She was like, "Please, I haven't shopped. We've been looking for you." She said, I said, "I'm not leaving here until I find her."
Now this man online waiting for food. He got to come back and he's
Look,
going
the
shopping.
following year, they have this meetup spot. It's on the hill, they call it. I'm on the hill and I hear somebody, "Gigi." So I turned around. It was him. He running up the hill. He was like, "Come on," to his wife. "Now you hold her bags and you take my picture." I was like, "Okay." But I said to him, I said, because he said it. He said, "I'm looking for an African American woman with curly hair." And she got on orange. I said, "Oh, so I'm gonna straighten my hair and I'm gonna wear all black, and maybe I could get through these
Right,
events
right.
without stopping every 5 minutes." But
Nah, you don't want that.
no, I
They
don't.
need
I
to
love
see
it.
you. They need
Yeah,
to see
I
you.
love the people. I really do.
Wow.
I really do.
Well, this has been amazing, Gay. I'm so glad that people could hear your story. I know they're inspired from, like you said, the darkest moment in your life and how it has turned into, and it took some time, but it's
It did.
turned into some sunshine.
Yeah,
And your orange rays are glowing on all of us.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
don't fight this. You
No,
keep
I'm
it
no,
going and you
I'm riding.
embrace it.
I'm
Yes.
riding the ride. It's
Ride the ride because we
it's
need
been a
it.
good thing, but
We need it. And hopefully you'll come back again.
absolutely.
And look, if you ever want me to go as a bodyguard, I'll
Yes, come
go
right on.
because I want to see it.
Look, my girlfriend Pat, she always like, "I can't go to these places because I'll be like, back up." She
Right.
was like, because I'll be showing her videos or whatever. "Who are those people? Why are they touching you?" She was like, "Go
Yeah.
home." I was like,
They're like, Gigi was great, but her friends, but yeah, what? Back up from her. There you go.
yeah,
Well,
it's
all right, ma'am.
thank you
It's been
so
a
much. Thank
pleasure.
you for everybody in the
Shelby,
comments.
I love you, baby. Keep on
Yeah,
protecting your mama. That's right. Keep on
yeah.
protecting
No,
your
she was.
mama.
Look, she said she was in the store. She took all the magazines out of the little section and she put them all in the front. It was like a row
That's what
of.
I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. And she said, "Proud of you, mama." That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
Wait, now
thank
where
you,
can people
everybody.
follow you? Because they need their
Gigi
Monday
made it.
motivations.
Gigi
Gigi
made it
made it
is the same everywhere.
on Instagram, on
Instagram,
Facebook,
Twitter,
everywhere.
Facebook. It's all Gigi made it.
So go get you some Gigi made it inspiration. And
Yes. And Florence, don't forget to give Dawn your information so I can
yes,
get your
DM
books to
me.
you guys. Yes.
Yes, and we will get that because I'm Florence. Hurry up because I'm sending my info right away. I want my book sent to me. So
Yes. Yes.
all right,
Yes.
there. So,
Thank you so
everybody
much.
else, this is probably the final episode of the season. We are closing it out with Gigi Made It. Yay! Thank you for being along for the ride on the first season of Grow Your Glow. And we'll be back after the holidays.
Good
Okay.
stuff. Good
Yay!
stuff.
Good night,
Everybody
all.
have a good night.
Have a good night.